Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Box Seats. This is the show where we talk about sports with comedians. As we wait for the guys to jump in on the show, let me bring in my man Mo. Mo, how you doing, bro? How's everything?
I'm doing all right, but why are you in the car? I feel like that part. I feel like that part in Harlem Nights where Eddie Murphy pulled up to the club in a cab, and they're like, "Quick, what you catching the cab for? That ain't your style. You know, you got your own Frank. What you sit in the car for? That ain't your style. Well, what happened?"
You asked way too many questions, bro. You asked too many questions. Like too many questions.
I'm just asking what the people are thinking. Why is he sitting in the car?
I'm getting ready to go to the screening of Superman, bro. So I got to do this. I got to do this, man, out here. So,
Oh, you
as we wait.
VIP? Okay.
I'm not VIP. I'm just going to see a rinky dink screen and see Superman and see how it is. My man Jason Hayes just jumped in the building too. Let me bring him in. Jay, how you doing, sir? How
What's
everything?
happening, fellas?
What
Good to
up,
see you.
JD?
First of
All
all,
good, baby.
before we jump into everything, man, how was you? How was y'all's weekend? How was your 4th of July, man? How was yours?
You know,
Mo, you want to go first?
Oh, me? Oh, man, listen. So I got hired by a friend. Well, I cook around his house. We do a lot of parties at his house. But when he got a big event, he'll hire me, right? I got hired, man. I was the cook. I was at the grill all day. And every time somebody came up to the grill, they had a drink in their hand. And I wasn't turning down nothing but my collar. So after 10 p.m., you know what I'm saying? Somebody had to come get me, and pick me up from the party, drive me home because yeah, I was towed up. I was drinking, and it was nothing but tequila going around. It was that good tequila. Too. They had like 5 bottles of that Kevin Hart tequila. Shout out to Kevin Hart's tequila for having me face down in the toilet.
How about you, Jay? How was yours? How was yours?
a lot, a lot less, eventful than what Mo talking about. That's for sure.
You're right.
I fired the grill up. I watched, feeds pop up, with the clown signing his big beautiful whatever the hell that is,
Yeah.
and I thought to myself, what greater example on independent, on the 4th of July than this clown writing something that's restrictive of everybody in this country who ain't white. I'm like, that's fitting. That's apt.
Yep. Well, me, I had a great weekend myself. We did a cookout with my mom. We did a surprise cancer type of party for her, because my mom ended up having she was able to beat cancer. So we threw a party for her, party slash cookout, we surprised her with a cake and beat cancer type of thing. That made my whole weekend for me, man. That was almost better than my actually was better than my birthday because obviously my mom's still here, beat cancer twice. You know what I mean? Family came up from Philly, hung out. We stayed out there for about a good 12 hours, bro, cooking and eating and cooking and eating and laughing and just joking up, man. So yeah, so that was my weekend, man. But it was good to hear from you all. Great to see that you all had a great weekend. And Howie should be coming in a second. He's having issues with internet in Detroit. Detroit internet is down, and I heard in some parts of New York is down and Philly is down too. So this looks like this might be a national thing. So it'd be something to talk about.
Well, I mean, it's really down for Howie, man, because his internet be on the struggle bus most days anyway. It'd be like putting
Howie, that
along,
wasn't
bro.
me. Howie, that wasn't me. That wasn't me. That wasn't
It's
me.
that Detroit infrastructure, dog.
Yeah, that's Detroit. All right, so let's get ready to jump into the top stories in sports ball. I'm gonna have you go first, man. And this is what's really crazy, man. I read this story as I was getting my stories together, and I was like, you know what? There's gonna be something to talk about interesting today. I don't know if you all heard this or not, but Shannon Sharp still hasn't offered a legal response to the bombshell sexual assault lawsuit that was levied against him in April. According to obviously reports, Sharp is yet to file an official response to the lawsuit in Nevada court, and the hearing is set on Wednesday. People usually do this, literally, they usually do this 30 days out. So I'm kind of interested in hear what you guys are thinking about, because as you all remember, this was a trending topic for Shannon Sharpe a couple of months ago when this whole issue with the sexual assault and everything else came. He obviously he got kicked off from ESPN. He got kicked off from all the places that hire him, except when he's a self-employed at his podcast and stuff he's still doing. Mo, what's your take on him not saying any kind of response to the sexual assault allegation? What you think, Mo?
Honestly, I think maybe he's just waiting to the last minute. He's being real, how can I say, strategic in what he's doing. That's the only thing I can come up with. Other than that, unless he's guilty. But I'm saying he's innocent until proven guilty. I'm saying he's probably being strategic in what he's doing. And yeah, it's Wednesday. Maybe he got hey, man, I don't know what else to say. He probably being strategic. I hope he is.
Okay. Jay, what's your take on this, Jay?
My take is Shannon has enough money to have really good lawyers. So I don't think that he's just willy-nilly out here doing things and not taking into consideration, what should be happening. So my guess is what's happening is what his lawyers is telling him to do and what doesn't need to happen. And maybe they got some information that we don't know about that they're going to show up in court and just present it. I don't know.
Yeah, that honestly, at first I was thinking that maybe that she got him, because what I do know is that Shannon Sharpe hasn't paid anything to settle this.
Right.
So he hasn't even tried to. Matter of fact, he's vehemently denied it, everything else, and he's waiting for ESPN to give him back his job. But the interesting note too is that ESPN now knows all the facts and still hasn't rehired him. So that's a food for thought kind of note too. I want to just throw it out there for all those up there you listening.
It's important to note though, it's a civil suit.
Right.
So a civil suit is her just making accusations. He need to give me money because this happened, that happened. So maybe they're just waiting. They're saying, look, we ain't got to file anything. Right. We're going to show up, we're going to do what we got to do, and then, we're going to show you what's really what.
Right. That's right. Being, like I say, they being strategic in what they're doing. They got they move. They're going to bust a move real quick,
Right. That's right.
If he already paid for it, I don't know why you filing lawsuits.
Right. So let's move on to the next story, which I thought was interesting. I don't know if you heard about this one, but Chicago Sky forward Angel Reese became WNBA's highest profile figure to call out the league's officials, and she's very upset at the league's officials, saying it's got to be fixed, and I'm tired of this SHIT. And obviously her comments came after Sunday's 80-75 loss to the Minnesota Lynx, in which the Sky attempted only 8 free throws as opposed to 17 by the Lynx. Now, I saw a lot of these. I don't know if you saw this, Mo. I saw a lot of the thing. These girls were physically holding Angel. They were physically holding her down, and this could make I think this could make the sport go another direction. Or I mean, I guess it depends on how you look at it. Before I put words in your mouth, what you think, man? You think the league, the WNBA's referees are just as bad as the NBA referees?
All referees is just as bad as all. Man, it ain't no like just one. That's like asking me, is one guy in the slow class worse than the other guy in their slow class? They all in the slow class. No matter who the slowest, they all slow. They're all referees. They all bad, man. Come on, listen. You know what this means? It means that the women's league is going through the same that the men's league has been going through for however long. That's not just the NBA in the MLB, NFL, soccer, hockey. Show me a league where the referees ain't bad. I'll wait.
Yeah, great point. What's your take on this, Jay?
My take on this is that the referees probably need to be hanging with Malik Beasley right now. And looking for a lawyer. They had some money on that, bro. I mean, damn. Bro. They had to have some money on that somewhere. I mean, they had to protect the parlay. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we'll probably hear about them being investigated a year from now, because this ref has some money on the game. Because, I mean, that disparagement is crazy.
I thought the same thing, too. I was like, this is...
disparity, should I say.
Yeah, this is like a little bit crazy, but, what could you do? You can't prove it just yet until you obviously throw something out there to prove it. So, Mo, the big news, though, today, Mo, I think this is the biggest news of the day, is that the Los Angeles Clippers, Utah Jazz, and Miami Heat all pulled off a three-team trade, sending Norman Powell to Miami, John Collins to the LA, and Kevin Love, Kyle Anderson, and 2027 second-round Clippers draft pick to the Utah Jazz. So with that being said, Mo, who made out on that? Who you think made out on that?
The Clippers.
Right? Yeah.
The Clippers. And underline all that, they just re-signed Harden today or recently also. I think it was a 2 or 3 year deal.
Right.
So he's coming back.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? The Clippers have a nucleus. They've been playing together. Most of them, they've been playing together. You know, because if you look at all the last of the few NBA teams, I want to say they've been together for at least 3 years before they won a championship, right?
Yeah.
Majority of them, you know, their core, that's where the Clippers are sitting at. And if Kawhi can stay healthy and they got John Collins in there, and
Right. What'd you take on this, Jay? You think the Clippers? Who do you think made out best for this on this, Jay?
I know who didn't make out, and that was the Utah Jazz getting Kevin Love old ass. You know what I'm saying? To me, it's a toss-up between the Heat and the Clippers, you know, because Norman Powell is a player that makes sense because they lost the kid to Detroit, you know,
Right.
Duncan Robinson. So they got to bring in shooting. And I think Powell's is a little bit more versatile than Duncan Robinson. So I think the Heat got better at the position given what they lost. But I like John Collins, man. I mean, you know, he's a dog, bro. You know, he's athletic. But I just don't know what the Clippers can do with anything. I mean, I just don't see how the Clippers can ever win anything.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go Heat because it's the Clippers and Utah got to do it with the high school with me. So It don't matter.
Right. I got to say this. Kevin Love, I thought he was retired. I ain't going to front.
I know he was still playing.
I know he was still playing. I thought he retired. You know what I mean? And the crazy thing up in Boston, people are talking about in Boston, like the Celtics should have traded the trade for him. I was like, oh, no, they shouldn't have. No, they shouldn't have. Like, you better not get that dude. He's 37, 38, 39 years old. Like, he's way too old. No, don't get him. I was disappointed with that. There's something more topic I wanted to talk about, man, with you guys. We talked about it a little bit the other day with the SGA's contract. I don't know if you all paid attention to this. He signed a 4-year, $285 million Supermax extension with the OKC Thunder. SGA did, which stretches out his annual salary to $71 million. The reason why I'm bringing it up again is because I didn't pay attention to one thing that I should have brought up the other day. Is that now we getting ready to get into the Supermax and the second apron with OKC with just one player. You know what I mean? The Celtics are in that same situation now with 2 players. So I guess, Mo, the problem is I'm trying to ask you is, do you think the league should cap off how much money a player should make a year? Or let's just keep going. Do you see an end in sight? Because, damn, Jason Tatum got $35 million a year. Jaylen Brown got $35 million a year. Literally, SGA almost doubled it. You know what I mean? Like, wow. What you think, Mo?
I mean, I don't want to be sitting here talking about what a player shouldn't be getting. You know, I mean, are they going to put a cap on what the owners do?
Right.
Are they going to put a cap on? Listen, I work at a stadium where 1 bottle of water pays for a whole 24 case, a 24 bottle case.
But
are they going to put a cap on that?
No, I understand what you're saying, but my issue is this: with the salary cap, it hinders the team unless the owners get a salary cap on them too. You know what I mean? The only reason why I'm upset about it, I want the money. I want the players to make as much money as possible. But when but when your team has to work in the thing of a salary cap, that hinders your team. I don't care who your team is. You're gonna have to bust up your team every 2-3 years, which is not fair to the fans if you fall in love with a certain team. And it's not fair if you can get a chance now. You can run 4, like the days of running 4 straight, 3 straight. I think are over. I don't think we're gonna ever see that again because of this collective bargaining agreement.
Listen, the NBA is doing a whole lot of new stuff. What we know as the NBA will not be the NBA in the next 5 to 10 years. Contract-wise, structure-wise, they like you said, there's no more dynasty. You know, I was thinking about that the other day. There's going to be no more LA, Boston, Chicago type runs. No more. They already stopped that. You know, the NBA, I don't know what they're trying to do. The NBA is not going to be the NBA as we know it. And they're at a point where they're saying, look, we make enough money. We got enough followers. Whether y'all going to just like it or you can leave.
Yeah, that's my take. I'm a little bit bothered by that. Jay, what's your take on this? How are you looking at this from this point of view?
Hey, I'm looking out the window, man. I don't see no T-Rexes and saber-tooth tigers running down the street either, right? Things go by the wayside. Things die out. You know what I'm saying? You know, like people want the NBA to, you know, to be what it was in the 80s and in the 90s. You know, when teams had no salary cap, you had these dynasties and all this stuff, and everybody stayed in place. It's over. Like, this is the new reality. And listen, I ain't never gonna be for a team capping what a player can earn under the agreement, because you already got a salary cap, so you've already capped what they can earn. So now you want people to take haircuts on your behalf under the salary cap that you already imposed to say, well, under these numbers, you can't make but so much because we still got to field the team.
Right. But
so,
are you mad at I didn't mean to interrupt. I'm sorry to interrupt. But how are you feeling about the dynamic of legacies with the teams, though? You know what I mean? That's where I'm trying to go with this. I'm sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
What I'm saying is this. You cannot cap people's earning power. You already done capped their earning power, right? So if he's entitled to a certain percentage of the salary cap, you know, as a player being the best player who does everything on the team for you, you cannot make the players take the haircut again. You already got the salary cap. So now you want to limit them again on what they can earn under the salary cap rules, and is already limiting what they can get.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I saw somebody say this recently about LeBron James. It was Gilbert Arenas. He said, Bron is the mindset that I'm not giving you not $1 back. You're gonna pay me everything that that I'm entitled to get, because you can argue he's been underpaid his entire career. No matter what his max salary was, the league made exponentially more off of him. So he ain't giving you no breaks, and I don't think Shea should be doing it, and nobody else should do it either.
I think that's an excellent point, because honestly, LeBron James is probably the most dollar for dollar, the most underpaid franchise player all-time history ever. Yeah, I think you could I think you say that, because he ended up flipping. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know the math off the top of my head. The sport was already global, but he went and made everybody's stock value everywhere he went, every team he went, quadruple when he went and joined the team. The stock value of the Cleveland Cavaliers,
team value,
the team value tripled when he went to Cleveland. Team value tripled when he went to Miami. Team value quadrupled, and he probably had a great hand in making the Lakers get as valuable as they are now, and the Lakers just recently sold for $10 billion. So yeah, I could wholeheartedly agree with that statement.
And they paid him a salary and not equity in the team. Because if they gave him equity in the team, now that's commensurate. They take all of that for themselves. Built off the backs of the players, but they want the players to take less money. They already taking a profit. But on top of that, when the team is sold, ain't no profit sharing with the players. So now I ain't never gonna be for like players taking less money ever.
No, I'm never for that either. But what I am for is trying to figure out a way how to bust up the CBA, bro, because it's getting ridiculous. Like I ain't gonna lie. No. I want dynasties back again. I don't care who it is. If it's OKC, let OKC run 3 straight. I want that again, but it ain't never gonna happen again.
Right. No, like I said, I ain't see no T-Rexes, bro.
I don't know if I want the dynasty thing. I kind of like the fact that it's the OK Corral. Every man for himself. You know what I'm saying? You get out there and you shoot your best shot. You might get it this year. You might not get it this year. You get it this year don't mean you're going to have it next year. I don't want no more dynasties. That shit was boring. Every year, Boston.
Right, same teams. Yeah.
Boston, Lakers, Chicago, blah, 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 blah. Every man for himself. The reason why you want the dynasty because your team dominated the dynasties.
Right.
That's the only reason why
Boston to be on top again.
I think I'm gonna say it in the words of my man Screwface from the Steven Seagal movie, Stop the Blood Clot Crime.
All right, Mo, you busted me out. Okay, you busted me out.
No,
I'll give you that. Yeah, I did.
But Frank, I'll say this: what it does mean, though, a lot like the NFL deals with this. Your front office got to be really good.
Right.
That means that you got to hit on young players who are going to be good sooner before you got to pay them. And you got to take advantage of somebody who's really good young while you have this really good veteran that's making all this money that's going to allow you to run in that short window where that young player is still cheap before you got to max him out. So you got to hit on your draft picks. You got to hit on, free agency, your vet exemption, all that stuff. What this means that the front office got to work a little harder. And I like that.
Yeah. And OKC,
and you know what?
Shout out to OKC. They doing that.
Right.
They doing it.
And you know what? I'll tell you this much. I wouldn't be surprised if it all fell in line with all the new online betting situations, because now it was at one point you could just put down how many dollars you wanted because Boston's going to win again. You can't do that no more.
Actually, I'm sure it has a lot to do with that. Betting got a lot to do with it because
so now that any team can win, the betting is crazy, the frenzy. Let a team get. How many people you think betted on the Clippers to make it to the Western Conference Finals after that trade today?
Yeah. That's a great point.
It's all about betting, all of it.
Yeah,
it all goes back to gambling. The whole every sport.
All right, now before we jump into our top five, I had a special question I want to ask each of you this, because both of you guys I know are Knicks fans, and I thought about this over the weekend. I was sitting there. Actually, this was a conversation that me and my cousins was having, and I said, you know what? I'm gonna ask my boys this on box seats. So here's the question: who will get hired as an NBA coach first? Don Stanley from South Carolina or Mark Jackson? And I was like, that's a great question.
That's an easy question. That's an easy question for me.
Okay. No, is it an easy question for you? Because
JD go for. I want to see what he got to say.
Yeah, I'll let him go first, but I'll tell you this: me and my cousins got into an argument over the weekend over this. So let me see where you at on this, Jay. Where you go, Jay?
Ain't no argument, man. It's Dawn Staley. They ain't never let Mark Jackson coach again, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now, the thing is, Dawn Staley ain't likely. You know what I'm saying? But Mark Jackson is a non-starter. So so not likely is better than it ain't never gonna happen.
Okay, so where are you at with this, Mo?
The only reason why I'm gonna go with Dawn Staley. I think Mark Jackson don't want to coach no more. I think he did. I don't think he's blackballed. I think he just don't want to do it. I think only thing he likes his job when he was on the sidelines, and then they took that from him. It's like everything I think he kind of tired of the NBA. Every time he gets something good going on, they take it from him. He had the Warriors. Boom, kicked him out. Him and Van Gundy had it going on. Boom, they kicked him out.
I don't agree with that, because you know how I think he would do it, because he's still commenting on the games. He still does, he still does color commenting for one of the, I don't know if it's ABC.
Yeah, listen, the man loves basketball. Don't mean he wants to be a coach.
I don't think he's even doing that anymore.
You know what I'm saying? The man loves that. I went to high school with the man. He has been Action Jackson since he was a freshman in high school. All right? He loves basketball. I'm a comedian. I love comedy. I would not book a comedy show or try to run a comedy club. It's a pain in the ass.
Mm-hmm. I understand. I get it. I get it. All right, so I just wanted the only reason why I want to ask you guys is because me and my cousins was getting into an argument over this weekend, and they literally think that Mark Jackson would coach because they think the disparity in the NBA is too big. They think that there will be literally no women head coaches no time soon, and I think that they're wrong. I think there will be I really believe that there will be a woman head coach in the NBA sooner rather than later, especially that woman who's assistant coach right now for the Indiana Pacers, which a lot of the Pacers players love her. You know what I mean? I forgot her name.
And didn't she come from the Spurs also?
Yeah, I think she did. Yeah, I think she
But,
She
did.
started with the Spurs.
I mean, but here's the thing though. This is what I'm certain of. There will be a woman coach before Mark Jackson's a head coach
That's
Yeah.
right.
because he ain't never gonna be allowed to coach again. They're never
Right.
gonna give him a chance.
Right, right. And you can't even get mad that he's 100% right. I think you're 100% right about that. All right, so let's jump into our top 5. Here we go, Mo. Since we're talking about obviously NBA teams, let's see which one we going to do. What are the top 5 NBA teams with the biggest question marks heading into the upcoming season to you?
All right, well, number 5, Milwaukee. Off the rip, Milwaukee. Know what I'm saying? They waived Dame Lillard. They got it. They got what's the name? They brought in that boy from Miles Turner from Indiana. They don't, that's don't something. It didn't look like a good fit. We don't know how it's gonna work out. Listen, they on the clock.
Okay.
4, Cleveland. Cleveland, they had the best record, supposed to do this, do that. Okay, they had some injuries. They on the clock too. All right. 3, Denver. Denver done been to the Western Conference Finals twice, right, in a row, and got bumped out. Game 7s. Bumped out. They on the clock. The New York Knicks. You fire your coach. Now you send out a report that the reason why the coach got fired because the exit meeting from the team, they were all talking about they didn't know this, didn't know that, all this upset. I just saw that today. They on the clock. And last but not least, it was a hard one, but I got to say it's the Lakers, baby.
But Mo, I just want you to know, this wasn't one where the coaches are on the hot seat. This is just one when you have a biggest question mark, like you don't know which way they're going to go. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to make sure you understand the question. You don't know which way they're going to go. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I'm saying we don't know which way the Knicks are going to go. Are they going to go? Are they going to get another 50-game season, 50-win season? Are they going to make it to the finals? I don't know. The Lakers too.
Oh, okay. Last week you was like the Knicks are going to the finals, baby. That's what you was like that last Thursday.
We're going to the finals.
We are going to the finals. But if something happened, you said, wait a minute, I never said they're not going to the. All I'm saying is you said who got the biggest question mark? They just got through firing their coach.
Right.
They went to the Eastern Conference Finals. They ain't got a question mark going into the next season. The only reason why I'm not picking Indiana, Boston, because of the injuries. We already know what the situation is. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Those aren't question mark teams to me. The Boston.
Yeah, they're on question mark because the question has been answered. They're gonna be bums.
Yeah. Question mark
They're done.
It's not Boston. It's not Indiana.
It's the Lakers. It's Cleveland. It's New York. It's Denver and Milwaukee. We don't know what Milwaukee gonna do. Is Giannis even gonna stay?
Yeah. Well, okay. I listen. I understand your reasoning. I can't even dispute your reasoning. Let me hear what JJ. What's your teams that you got?
The 2 of the teams y'all said aren't question marks. They are definitely question marks. Indiana is a massive question mark because they got rid of Miles Turner. Halliburton is hurt, but I think they played better when Halliburton was on the bench. So I don't think. I mean, to me, they can be terrible, or they can be a team that they're a surprise team. And, Halliburton's down, and and they're still winning games because I don't think that he means to them what people try to make him seem like he means to that team.
Yeah, but Halliburton's gone and Miles Turner's gone. So
yeah, but see, he ain't mean that much either. If you ask me, you know what I'm saying?
I think he did. But go ahead, I'm gonna let you finish.
He was soft as baby poo out there, dog. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, he was soft out there, bro.
He still made the game 7 of the finals, though.
Right. I mean, what I'm saying is, to me, it's a question mark because I think that they could still be a playoff team even though Halliburton's down and Miles Turner's gone. Because I don't think either of those guys really mean to them what the media makes it seem like they meant to them. You know what I'm saying? And the Celtics, Tatum's very important. But they had a lot of, they got some players who were dogs, on that team. So, I mean, Porzingis is going, but I mean, when was he ever playing? really.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
and
He was always hurt.
Yeah.
So I don't think that Boston is going to be as bad as people think they're going to be with no Tatum, because Jaylen Brown can play. You know, I mean, I like Pritchard. You know, getting more minutes. You know, and as long as they hold on to Derek White, I mean, you know, they got a shot. You know, to bring in some role players. You know, who can just play a role, and they adjust. You know, to their talent. I think Boston can still be a playoff team.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3, it got to be Philadelphia 76ers, bro.
Yep, that's my team. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? If Embiid is healthy, which is a huge if, or healthy-ish, they can be a problem. If Paul George, you know, can come back, they can be a real problem, you know, in the East. They had a lot of injuries last year. So, to me, Philly's a major question mark. The Knicks are number 2 for me because it's a new coach. They got used to us. You know, Brunson is used to a certain style of play and a certain level of freedom to just go at his own way and do whatever. I'm curious to understand how that's going to work with a new coach and a new philosophy who actually runs actual offense.
Right.
Right. And number 1, I got to go with Mo with the Lakers, because the Lakers have made some huge moves in this offseason. And I think they made these moves to make one final run at an NBA championship, and it can either go really well for them, you know, if Ayton is what they think he is, and Luka makes the plays that he think he can make, you know, Bron gonna be Bron. It can be an NBA Finals team with some breaks, or they can miss the playoffs altogether. So that's a huge question mark to me. That's number 1 with the Lakers.
Okay. I like that. I like that team. Looks like Howie Bell's trying to join. Let me see if he's in there. Howie in the building.
What up,
Howie,
though?
what up, Howie?
Oh, what up, though?
Man, listen, I
Howie-
just got on, brother. Let me tell you something. And look, I ain't even got my notes. I don't even know where y'all at in the show right now. But I'm telling you, I'm so happy I'm on right now. What's happening?
How we got that AOL, baby?
Yes, sir.
You got mail. You got mail.
Man, trying to tell you.
All right, Howie, this is where we at, Howie. We at name your top 5 teams with the biggest question marks heading into the upcoming season. That's where we at right now. And you came in
All
just to say ended.
All right, so look, man, I'm gonna go off the top of my head on this because you know I went over some of it, but I get so I'm a little concerned, number 1 off the top, about Indiana. With Halliburton's injury. I'm a little concerned about that. I think that if he's healthy, they're gonna make that run that they need to make next year. But him not being healthy, they're highly questionable. You know what I'm saying?
Howie, they just made an announcement today that he gonna miss the whole year, so he's gone.
Well, there it is. There it is.
Yeah, he's out.
There it is. Well, that just answered that question. Yeah, well, they're pretty much not going to go make the same run. I'm not going to say that they're not going to go back to the playoffs, but I don't see them making the same kind of run that they made this year. With that being said, I think Boston is in trouble too. I don't know what Tatum's expectations are and how he's looking as far as him healing up and all that stuff, but they're questionable as well. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, their star player could possibly be out for at least half the season. So, you know, those 2 off the top. I can say this. I'm worried about the Lakers too. I know everybody is like, think this is that. I don't know, man. I don't know if the Lakers are going to be able to gel and mesh this quick to make a title run this coming season. I just don't think that they can do it. And with the fact that LeBron is about to retire, I don't give him any more years other than this. People might question me, say I'm wrong, but I think that this is his last go round, which is fine. I think he should go out like that. You know, don't drag it out too many more years and bum it out or try to go to another team, because I don't see the Lakers being in contention for a title really in another couple years. The West is too strong. So I'm gonna say the Lakers. You know, if I could take 3. You know, and say that as my third one, to say, you know, in no particular order, that they're in trouble. Well, questionable. I won't say in trouble. You know what I'm saying? Just questionable about what they can do. You know, you can always make moves and do things like that. I'm a little worried about my Detroit Pistons. You know what I'm saying? To be honest, I'm a little worried. I don't think we made strong enough moves yet. You know what I'm saying?
And you lost Malik Beasley just now. That knucklehead.
And Beasley, that whole story. Trust me, man. Everybody in Detroit is sick about that. So, You know, and he played so good for us last year. And just for him to get caught up in this Fed stuff, man, and everything with this gambling, it's a bad look, man. It's a bad look. Hey, look, it's a bad look on Detroit. Look, he's like, oh yeah, Detroit player get caught gambling. You know what I'm saying? So it's it's all kind of stuff to that, man. So I would put my team in there, you know what I'm saying, as one to worry about. And of course, every year we worry about the Pelicans. What the hell are they gonna ever do?
Yeah.
Ain't no question marks with them, bro.
Yeah.
Will Zion be 300 or less? You know what I'm saying? That's the only question.
That's the only question. But there would be, if I had to go off the top of my head and say the 5 teams I think are questionable, those would be mine.
All right. Don't you
Is
think
this taught by spicy or mild? That's it.
Right? Don't you think the owner of the New Orleans Pelicans is mad at himself for picking Zion right now, when he had literally Ja Morant at number 2? You know what I mean? Like, can you imagine him sitting there just thinking about that? Yeah. All right. Since we talk about the NBA still, let's talk about this. What 5 teams do you not want to see Dame Lillard play for this upcoming when he returns, because he ain't returning all next year anyway. So what 5 teams do we talk about that you don't? We know the 5 teams that you would love to see him. What about the 5 teams you do not want him to say, you know what, let me go play for them? What are they at?
Number 5 off the top right now, I do not want to see Dame go to the Lakers. Reason why they always putting these teams together to help somebody get a ring, and they never get one. They tried to do it for Barkley. They tried to do it a little while ago for Carmelo, putting everybody together. We're going to get Melo a ring. Melo still ain't got no ring. Don't go to the Lakers. Let Braun retire. He ain't going to get you a ring, Dame. I'm telling you right now. The Brooklyn Nets, I don't want to see him go there, because all they're going to have is him.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
Don't want to see him on the team of the Brooklyn Nets. Yep. I do not want to see him on the New York Knicks.
Really?
Because for some reason, hurt players don't recover well in New York. They just come and stay hurt, and then they leave and recover.
It's too much to do in New York, bro. It's too much to do.
Yeah, man. Streets be calling, bro.
Yeah, it's too much to do.
I do not want to see him in the Knicks. I'm saying, don't want to see it. I'm sorry, Dame. Love you for real. If you throw a concert, I might even promote it on my Facebook. But no, don't come to the Knicks. I do not want to see Dame Lillard on Fat Joe's team in the Rucker Park.
Oh, baby.
All right, you got enough money. You ain't got to be trying to go out there and act like it's COVID and all that, and you want to play ball, sit your ass down like Javi would say. No, don't go to Fat Joe's team out in the Rucker Park. For real. And number 1 team, I do not want to see Dame Lillard out on Jim Jones' team. Because right now, Jim Jones is the biggest fool in the rap industry. He's talking about Nas. He's talking about all these people, and Dame's a rapper. So, Dame, do not go down there and make a record with Jim Jones trying to save him. No, don't get on Jim Jones's team. Top team I don't want to see Dame Lillard be on.
Well, okay. I like your 5. Jay, give me your 5. What are your top 5 teams you don't want to see Dame Lillard play for?
5 is easy. Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Dude, they cut you. You know, they had the option, man, let you rehab. No, he couldn't rehab the way he wanted to. And instead of letting him do any of that stuff, they cut him. So definitely not Milwaukee, for sure. I don't want to see him in Boston, because I hate Boston. And I want them to have all the bad things in life happen to them. They don't deserve Dame. Right? Number 3, don't go to Philadelphia. Because it's like Mo said, if you already hurt and you go to Philly, you're going to get a worse injury. Because that's just the luck that they have down there.
Yeah.
He might leave. He might sign, with the Sixers and leave a quadriplegic.
Yeah.
Number 2.
And they'll still be starting.
Number 2, I do not want to see him in Indiana. Don't want to see it. Just no. I mean, they don't deserve no good things in life in the Midwest over there. Not down there. Right. Everything south of Chicago deserves all terrible stuff.
Okay.
And the number one spot that I don't want to see him go is going to be Houston,
Okay.
because the expectations would be insane with him playing with KD, and they would expect natural championship, and I'm not sure that it can mesh, and it would just become crazy for everybody involved.
I think it'd be too much if we went to Houston. I agree with that
Yeah, it'd
one.
be too much.
It'd be too much. Howie Bell, give me your top 5 teams you do not want to see Dame Lillard play for.
I would love to see him go to Houston, man. That would be sweet. But because I don't want to see him go to any horrible team. I don't want to see him go to any bad team. I want to see him get out of this injury and go to a team where he can really make a legitimate run, bro, for a title. He deserves it, man, and he's a good enough player to do so. So here we go again. No Pelicans, no
Hawks,
Wizards, no Wizards, no Hawks,
no
Hornets.
Hornets.
They had Hornets. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Toronto, no Toronto.
Say that again.
Anything in the fly. None of those.
Yeah. Oh God. Toronto. Oh man. Come on. That would be punishment. Now, I don't want him to go to any team that's horrible or any team that's on some rebuild. We rebuilding.
Yeah, nah.
We don't want Dame to do that. We want him to go to somewhere that's really good. I could see actually if Golden State going to make a last push, him going there in another year. I could see that. You know what I'm saying? I could even see the Lakers, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? That would be something that could probably push them, you know what I'm saying, in the right direction. So, but definitely nobody horrible. All horrible teams out of here.
All right. All right, Mo, we're going to ask one more question, then we're going to switch to the NFL. Give me your top 5 things that you think that could be done to turn around NBA All-Star Weekend. I think we did this question before, but, I think we're going to get different answers this time around. So, Mo.
Yeah, we did this question before, and I didn't have 5 because it's like I'm really discussing with the All-Star Weekend. And I don't know what could be done to determine. I think I just got 2 things I can come up with. Number 5, one of them, bringing outside players for every single event. Because one thing about NBA players, they vain as hell. They don't want to look bad. That's why the All-Star game is messed up already. Right. Because they don't want to look bad.
Blame social media.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Bring in outsiders. I bet you they step their game up. And then not my only one that I say, I think this would be to get rid of the All-Star Weekend altogether. Just dead it and replace it with each state doing their fan appreciation, however they decide to celebrate their fans for that week or weekend. Like how we do Harlem Week in New York, celebrate Harlem, do whatever. Celtic Week, Boston Week, Lakers Week, weekend, whatever. Just get rid of the whole All-Star Weekend. Y'all let y'all fan. That way the players will be home. They ain't got to travel somewhere they don't want to go because they want to get that week off and they can celebrate their fans that same weekend and y'all can be in charge of it and do what y'all want to do.
Okay, Jay, give me yours.
The first thing I would do is I would not limit the dunk contest to just NBA players.
That's top shelf.
I would just invite the best dunkers, from around the world to come in and do that because it's a featured event and it's not imperative that an NBA player do it. I mean, it mattered when you were trying to build the league up. What the league is built. So now let's just get to pure entertainment. So that's number 5. That's the first thing I would do. Number 4 is I would let All-Star Weekend be the one weekend where all the players are allowed to gamble on the game. If they got money on that thing, bro, like they can legally place bets, I bet that game would get real interesting.
That's funny. That's true though.
It's true, yeah.
Number 3, I would make sure all All-Star games are played in Vegas because prostitution is legal there. And let them all get their money. Everybody gonna be happy, and they can come out, and everybody gonna have a good time, guaranteed. They already working anyway. I was in Philadelphia, when Philly had the All-Star game. Trust me, you have no idea what that thing is like. It's crazy, right? Number 2, I would actually hype it up more in advance. You know what I'm saying? You know, like really sell the pageantry of it all. You know what I'm saying? You know, to like really highlight the players in the lead up. You know, like every night of the game, you can talk about whoever the all-star is in different ways. Because most fans are casual fans. And so, like, let's say a dude like SJ last year became an all-star. You don't know that much about SGA. So, you know, do a build-up, you know, so people know who these players are going into it. That's number two. But number one, you might have to just not even mess with it at all. You know what I'm saying? You might just say this thing is just an antiquated idea at this point.
Okay. All right. You know what? The idea just came to me. I'm gonna give you your chance in a second, Howie. The winning team in the NBA All-Star Weekend, right, would get to escort the top 50 women of Miss Black America, because now you create a Miss Black America pageant.
That's fun.
You have an All-Star Weekend, and the winning team could escort them down the line. You know, as the you know what I mean. The top.
They already know them though.
Have we not learned our lesson?
Nah, what happened is they messing with
from Mike Tyson.
That's right. That's right.
Mike Tyson got to do that, bro. It's a bad idea.
Having pageants and athletes in the same. No, it don't work. It don't work.
They get motivated. I don't want to mess with the chicken heads. I want to mess with the. All right, Howard, give me your top 5 things that you could do that would be done to turn around the NBA All-Star Weekend.
Well, definitely wouldn't be having them mixed with a beauty pageant. That's for damn sure. I mean, you know, you talk about sexual. I mean, God, oh my God. So, all right, you talk about temptations. I'm gonna tell you, man, off the top, boys versus girls, WNBA versus the NBA. They gotta do it. I know they've done games where they had the girls like kind of mixed up in the team, but they gotta do boys versus girls, bro. They gotta do it. And you talk about excitement and ratings. Can you imagine Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark?
It won't be exciting.
Wouldn't be excited at all.
Are you serious, bro? Let me tell you something. You thinking from a traditional old head. I'm telling you something. The WNBA is on fire right now. And if you don't know that, bro, look at the stats, bro. They are on fire. What more boost would they need to play in an all-star game? They don't have to play the starters of the NBA, but they can pick some guys, you know what I'm saying? Maybe, you know, second string, you know what I'm saying? Come up with guys against these girls. I guarantee you the ratings will go. I guarantee it. It might be one of the highest rated events they got for All-Star Weekend if they do WNBA versus NBA. That's number one. That's what I would do. Number two, I would definitely say you got to play defense or you cannot play. 190 to 192 games, dog, we can't have that no more. Mm-hmm. We can't have you just, you know what I'm saying, dude? You got to play some defense, man. It's got to be something implemented. Like you said, though, I agree with you, Jay. Maybe if you put the gambling in there, they'll play some defense. Gamble. You know what I'm saying? They'll play some defense. That's the first thing I thought when you said that, because I already had thought about, you know, hey, man, they got to play some defense, something to get these numbers down. It's no way we can have almost 400 points score in these games, bro. That is not entertaining. Nobody likes it. I don't care who you are. It's only so many fast breaks and sweet 360 dunks on that you can do. That game is boring. And so they're going to have to do something to make them play defense. Like, just really, literally, like, you can't play in this game unless you play defense. I don't know how they're going to do it, but that would be another thing I would do. Another thing I would do is to incorporate the fans in something a little more on TV, not just like around the arena and things like that the fans do. You know, those sports interactive things. They need to do something more. You know, them half-court shots for $1 million. Anything to incorporate something to make it more exciting, like college-like atmosphere. And I would do it. They ain't never been to Detroit. Move the All-Star game to Detroit. We've had the NFL draft. We've had the Super Bowl here not too long ago, early, you know, maybe about 10 or so, 50 now. So what I'm saying is, my point being is, it's more to do, and there's more cities to explore. It doesn't always have to be in Miami or in LA. Go somewhere else. Go to the Midwest where people love basketball. Go somewhere different, man. Incorporate something new, you know what I'm saying, to what you're doing. And so those would be off the top of my head. Those would be the things that I would say do. You know what I'm
Well,
saying? And allow the people, man, to really interact. Force the players to interact with the people in that particular town too. I don't know if they do enough of that. So
honestly, Howie, the problem is not being in Detroit is they scared of the winter storms. You know what I mean? That's why they don't want to do it in Boston, New York.
Right.
You know,
Terrible weather.
yeah, they're
It's
scared of
February.
It's always in February.
it's always in
Yeah.
February. Right.
Yeah,
Right.
yes, and you never. And now the weather's getting worse with the, obviously with the what is it called, with the weather climating thing changing. You never know.
Climate
what you get.
change,
We can get hit with we can get hit with a huge storm, and
Like
All-Star Weekend is
nor'easters,
going
man.
to. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't think it'll ever be in Detroit, New York, Boston. I could be wrong. They might end up trying to put it there the next couple of years, but I just don't think it's
But
gonna.
it's been in New York before, though, right?
Yeah, it's been in.
We've been in
Yeah.
New York one time.
Yeah,
It was
it's
in
been New York.
Philadelphia when I lived in Philadelphia too. So
Yeah, they just never been to Detroit. I don't even think they've been to Chicago.
Yeah, they've been there. I just think that they're going to try to focus on just doing it in LA or Miami with hot weather. NBA owned city, Vegas, something was warm.
And that's why it's boring, because they're dealing with all these celebrity types and people. They're not dealing with real people. So the Midwest is full of real people that is going to change the atmosphere. Different promoters, different energy, different everything. I think that you're dealing with Hollywood and Miami only. You're only bringing out the certain kind of people. You know what I'm saying? Like the same exact cookie cutter people are coming to these events. That's why they're boring.
Unfortunately, I don't agree with that part, Howie. I don't think it has anything to do with location. I think it has a lot to do with the events. The events that you're pulling off, I think makes it boring. I think the celebrity all-star game, I think that got to go. Like, to me, if it was me, that'd be the first thing I pull. I'd be like, the celebrity, like, ain't nobody want to see a guy like Kai Cenat play basketball with, like,
because he can't play.
Yeah, nobody say, like, I was so disgusted watching him and Drewski and all these other dudes playing basketball. I'm like, I don't care about these dudes. Don't even play ball. They look horrible playing basketball.
Horrible.
They look horrible, and run up and down the court. They look like they're about 5'2", running around playing with other ex-athletes. I'm like, man, what a waste of time! Like, what a waste of energy. I thought it was. Let me just say my thing. This is what I would do, and I've said it before. If it was me, and I'm throwing it out there, All-Star Weekend. First thing I would do is for the dunk contest is I would have the HBCU guys come in there, and I would have them dunk off with the NBA rookies. You know what I mean? I'd have all the rookies, NBA, because the rookies trying to be seen, and dunk off with the NBA All-Star instead of just the G League guys. That'd be one thing I would do. But the biggest thing I would do is I would have a committee formed and pick the best international players to come over and play against our All-Stars. And that would be the highlight of All-Star Weekend. That's what I would do, right out the gate. And I think that would give you ratings right at the top, because these players overseas, they think they're the best players in the world, and they're jealous of the players over here because, when you get the NBA chip, you're saying you're the world champ. You know what I mean? And you ain't really the world champ because you ain't played nobody in the world. You just play people in the States. But if you have an all-star game, now you're starting to see, okay, these guys really are the best in the world. Or those, like, people don't realize SGA, Dylan Brooks. You can go down a list of guys who play for Canada. You can go down a list of guys who play for Europe. You know what I mean? And you start to see that in the Olympics. These guys are overseas. They're getting better and better. So why not have it America's versus the world? You know what I mean? That's what I would do. All-Star Weekend. That's how I'd call it. All right. So let's get ready to move now to the next thing. Let me get this question out of the way. We're gonna have this thing up here for days. Mo, you go first. Top 5 landing spots for TJ Watt, because when TJ Watt was the hot topic a couple of days ago, when people were sitting there saying that TJ Watt is going to get traded, we didn't talk about it. Let's get this out the way right now. And because of time, let's see if we go through it rather quickly.
All right, Cleveland, got him down there. Cleveland will do it. Pair him up with Myles Garrett down there. Detroit need a spark in their defense. The Jets, just because the Jets always want to try to add something on to it. I think the Giants would be a good spot because we already got a good pass rushing. You throwing TJ Watt in there? Yeah. And my last one, any team that went to the Super Bowl, the last 2 teams, either Kansas City or Philly.
Wow.
Put him on right. Yeah,
okay.
That's it right. That's my 5.
I'm shocked. Did you say Detroit? You didn't say Detroit, did you?
I did say Detroit.
You did.
Oh, okay.
You did.
Okay. Jay, give me yours. Top 5 landing spots.
Make it easy. Number 5, Pittsburgh, because it's likely that he's going to re-sign with Pittsburgh and he's going to stay where he's at and nothing changes. Number 4, you got to go with the Bears. They need everything. So, I mean, there's not one defensive position that the Bears don't need an upgrade at. Number 3, you got to go Atlanta Falcons. They are the worst pass rushing team in the NFL over the past decade. Number 2, you got to go with another horrible team with rushing the passer. That's the New York Giants. They're terrible. They cannot rush the passer at all, right? That's where you should end up. And then number 1, you got to go with the Saints, because dudes are getting long in the tooth down there. Even though they can kind of rush a little bit, the Saints need a whole lot of everything too.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I like your list. Howie, I know you got some off the top of your dome.
Yeah, man. I want to see him go somewhere sweet. Maybe West Coast. I could see him going to the Chargers. You know what I'm saying? Getting over there and then beefing that team up a little bit. They looking good over there with Jim Harbaugh. I don't know. Yeah, maybe the Rams even. You know what I'm saying? I could see him switching coasts. You know what I'm saying? And switching, going to the AFC, well, it's already the AFC, but switching coasts. You know what I'm saying? And I can see that happening. I love Detroit. If he came to Detroit, we already got Hutchinson. We already re-signed Darius, my man from the Browns that we got last year. If he came, we would be unstoppable. Super Bowl, I guarantee you. Guarantee, no question. Because our defense is already going to be back. Everybody was hurt last year. They had like 20 players out on injury reserve last year. So they coming back full swing. I would love Detroit. I would also love to see him at the Ravens. I love Baltimore, man. That's my other team, for real. And I love Baltimore, man. I just want to see Lamar get it, man. I'm really rooting for him, bro. And I think that their defense is already good, but another player addition like him would make them almost damn near unstoppable. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say okay. All right.
And then in my last place, I would say, with somebody that's still in contention, that's still making runs, this would be unfair to the world. But if he went to Philly, oh my God, you know what I'm saying? Like, what kind of team would that be? So I want to see players go to and flourish. I hate to see
Philly
players of that stature.
Philly makes sense because they lost Milton Williams, so Philly was that biggest player on their defense. They lost him because he came to the Patriots, so it makes sense.
And they lost Josh Sweat.
That would make sense.
Yeah, right. And they lost Josh Sweat too. That's right. They lost Josh Sweat too. So
that would make sense for him to go there. And they could pay him the money. You know what I'm saying? So so those will be off the top of my head. Those will be my top 5.
All right, so now, in case we got anything wrong or we missed some statistics, let me bring in White Chocolate. White Chocolate, what did we miss? What's going on?
All right, I got a couple things here. If you give me a second, WNBA viewership went up from 170% from 2023 to 2024, and the WNBA franchise values are up 180% from 2024 to 2025. So they're starting to rake in the ratings. And I heard you guys talking about the NBA All-Star Game. I have a suggestion to help fix that. Have you guys seen Banana Ball?
Yeah.
I would bring that guy in. I would bring that guy in and get his ideas on how to make that better and more of a spectacle for the fans to be involved and make it so that it's not just the way it is.
Right.
Those who are watching don't know what Banana Ball is. You got to explain it real fast.
All right, so Banana Ball is basically baseball, except they basically throw all the rules away. There's a guy out there on stilts that pitches and hits. They do backflips in the outfield when they catch the ball. There's no walks allowed. There's
so you're saying they do that for All-Star Weekend? That what you're saying?
I'm saying take some of this guy's idea.
Oh, I see.
Bring him in as a consultant and say, hey, look, we want to jazz up the NBA All-Star Game. Can you help us out? Or All-Star Weekend, and get some ideas from him. Walks are not allowed. If you bunt, you're thrown out of the game. If you step out of the batter's box, you're out. If a fan catches a foul ball, it's out. It's an out. I mean, there's a whole bunch of different. I've watched the game a couple of times. You can go on YouTube and watch it. It's just entertainment. It's kind of basically they have a 2-hour time limit, right? There's no extra innings or any of that stuff. So I mean, it's pretty wild. But to fix NBA All-Star Weekend, I would get some ideas from him. That's my thought.
Yeah. I understand your point. I don't know if I would like that. I wanted to still
That
stay.
sound like the Harlem. That sound like the Harlem Globetrotters.
Yeah, I don't think I would do that. So, yeah, exactly. Sounds like the Harlem Globetrotters shaking too much. Yeah, I don't. I want to stay serious, and I want it to be, us against the world. I guess I'm still stuck on us against the world because I think
I want to say this real quick, Frank. I'm gonna sneak this in real fast about the WNBA to White Chocolate's point.
Now
they're doing expansion teams now too.
Yes.
Say it again.
Can you hear me now? Okay.
Yeah.
So what to White Chocolate's point about the WNBA and the popularity and the rising, they're doing expansion teams now, and they're bringing back one to Detroit. And if you remember, the Detroit Shock won like 2 or 3 titles with Bill Laimbeer, your favorite buddy, as the coach. And so I'm thinking that the WNBA's popularity mixed in what they're trying to do with a revamp of the All-Star. If they play a WNBA game, I just want to repeat that, against the NBA, I promise you, raise through the roof. Leave that.
Hey, listen, man. I played basketball,
I don't
bro.
like that. I don't like that at all.
You don't
played
like
basketball. I
We
played
know
basketball.
women get their ass whipped. They're gonna get
What if each
not gonna be
what
close.
if each side had 1 or 2 women in the game per team, not
I think they've done that before.
Not men versus women, but you could have like maybe Caitlin Clark on one team and Angela
I think
Reese
they've
on
done
another.
that kind of thing before. Yeah.
I don't know.
Nah, bro. So what Chuck is talking about, the Savannah Bananas is a minor league baseball team down in Savannah, Georgia, and their attendance is crazy. So I kind of get what he's saying. He's not saying to do those types of things, but have him come up with like creative things that would be,
I know.
you know what I'm saying?
And only for All-Star Weekend, not
Only for an All-Star Weekend type situation.
Just the festivities.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. All right. But I'm looking at the time. Howie, tell everybody out there how they can follow you.
Hey, man, Howie Bizzell, HOWIEBIZZELL. Come check me out this coming weekend. Well, this Sunday, I'm going to be in California, West Hollywood, Laugh Factory Chocolate Sundays, man. 2 shows, 7 p.m., 9:30.
Thank you, Howie. I mean, Mo.
Mo, always MOE_comic on IG, baby. I'm out here doing my thing in these Boston comedy streets, y'all.
There it is. And Jason Hayes, tell everybody how they can follow you, bro.
At JD Hayes on Fanbase.
There it is. And White Chocolate.
Follow me and Frank on Boston Straight Shoes on Facebook and YouTube.
Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you on tomorrow. Tomorrow we are going to be back on at 5 o'clock. We got a lot more questions to talk about. So thank you all for watching. The name of the show is called Box Seats. It's on 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it repeats. It's going to repeat tonight too. So thank you guys for watching. We'll see y'all. Peace.